portions of the central and northern portions of Illinois, basically most of Illinois, and then we also have most of central and northern Indiana as well experiencing this threat as well. Here's that moderate risk there pushed out across portions of central and eastern Illinois into portions of central and western Indiana. We could also see a high risk issued on day one tomorrow as well, but I think after tonight they're going to expand this moderate risk across a larger portion at this point. There you have the SIG-2 for a significant tornado threat of long track violent tornado perimeters that kind of expand across much of Illinois into Indiana, and it's intensification for isolated supercells producing EF3 plus tornado strength. That's why you have that SIG-2 hatch there across the area. So like I said, tomorrow is a very violent perimeter for violent tornadoes across much of Illinois, central eastern Illinois, into portions of central and western Indiana tomorrow. And like I said, this is a big time tornado outbreak across portions of the Illinois and Indiana area. We haven't seen perimeters this high in a very large area in a very long time, especially across the Illinois area. And like I said, tomorrow is a very high-end event, and this is why it's very important for everyone to pay attention, and also not to be out there, especially if you're an amateur storm chaser, to not block roads and this and that, because it's very dangerous to cause traffic when storm motions are going to be moving like 45 to 50 to 60 mile storm motions. These storms are moving west to east or west to southeast at 60 miles an hour, and there's traffic on the road, and it's going to be very hard to dodge a tornado that's coming at you at 60 miles an hour. So like I said, and that's why it's hard to listen to your warning system, because if you get a warning, a tornado warning, you have only a certain amount of time to take action to get into your basement or an interior room that's many walls from the outside as possible, because you don't know how close that tornadic storm is getting close to you, because like I said, storms moving at 60 plus miles an hour is going to lead to maybe very minimum leeway or wiggle room to actually get to that interior room to protect yourself, because like I said, it might be just a matter of seconds before that tornadic storm hits you. Even though the tornado sirens are going off, that storm is probably moving very, very quick to your actual located area. So like I said, tomorrow's a very serious deal. It's a very serious tornado threat across portions of central and eastern Illinois into central and northern Indiana tomorrow. And it's very important that everyone does pay attention, because like I said, tomorrow's storm is very serious. It's real. It's going to be worse than what the previous outbreak we just had across portions of the Illinois area that we just had a few days ago with the Streeter, Illinois tornado, the Washburn one, the ones in Couts, Indiana, Maryville, Indiana, all those tornadic storms. Tomorrow makes that look like kid stuff. It makes it look like ridiculous. Like, tomorrow is going to blow everything out of the water. There's not really a fail mode at this point. Everything for tomorrow is really set in place for a very violent atmosphere, even starting at as early as 11 a.m. in the morning. The warm front's going to be lifted north as long as that morning convection moves out, which it's supposed to. And when that morning convection does move out, then you get those tornadic supercells in the afternoon and evening. And honestly, I think the warm front's going to perform tomorrow. Or the warm sector like it just did on the last event. The models won't pick up on it till the last second, but you'll probably get some renegade supercell developing way out ahead in the open warm sector along the warm front across central western Indiana, which is where I want to play right out there, eastern Illinois near western Indiana, out there with the lift and warm front, kind of get a supercell developed there, because your photographs are so largely curved. You'll probably get a violent long track supercell producing a very violent tornado like they just had last week. With the renegade supercell developed way out there that developed near Peoria and went towards Washburn and Streeter. I'm trying to zoom out here. So here's your highlighted area of the main tornado threat here across portions of the central and eastern portions of Illinois into central and western and northwest Indiana, of course. And then you also have your SIG-1 wind threat, your hail threat as well. But mainly, you got your moderate risk here across the area. Now let's go over here to the forecast models here. I really like watching the RAP model, of course, watching the trend. I know the RAP model is currently updated on the 02Z. We got the 01Z here. And right now, what I'm really paying attention to is how widespread and open the warm warm frontal boundary is lifting north, how open that warm sector is, how much instability is going to spread in after that morning convection, and kind of watching the trends here, the instability here on all the forecast model runs here, especially with the RAP-C. Across here, central eastern Illinois into central Indiana here, just doing a box sounding there of the atmosphere there. You got a 1700 cave over negative 16 sin at 300 LCLs, very low cloud bases, of course, and yeah, very largely curved photograph. I do like playing that lift and warm front there, especially across central and western Indiana tomorrow. That's what I'm really watching for, is those supercells that kind of latch on or follow the warm front lifting north or become right movers just within the warm sector itself. Here's the HER model picking up on that as well. And now if you compare that HER model to the RAP model is a little more better on instability. And what the HER model is showing, the HER model's been really quietly wrong lately, so I believe what the RAP model is showing is very accurate. Here is the RFS model currently updated right now, but it doesn't say that warm sector gets that far north, which I am really having a hard time believing. So I think the RAP model really has a better idea on handling how this environment's going to evolve tomorrow, and that's why I do agree that central and eastern Illinois and western central portions of Indiana here are going to have the greatest tornado perimeters, because look how largely curve your photographs here. Obviously you'll get some QLCS, broken line supercells, and tornadoes still producing off to the west, but your main renegade and isolated supercells develop in the open warm sector south of the warm front, or with the lifting warm front across portions of central and eastern Illinois to central and northern Indiana will probably be across this area, and that's why I'm kind of highlighting this area right here, for the better tornado potential. I'm thinking like this. As that warm front lifts north, I'm thinking central eastern Illinois into most of central and northern Indiana, even maybe touching a bit of southwest extreme Michigan, depending on how far north that front lifts. But I really do like the photographs way out ahead here. So it's like I said, it's very important that we watch how the environment evolves in the morning, how far north that warm front lifts, because it will all determine where the main tornadoes will develop across that area. Like I said, the atmosphere is prime for EF3 plus tornadoes tomorrow, very strong tornadoes. So like I said, if you're in a tornado warning, it's not the time to go outside and try to look for this tornado. It's time to get into the basement, get into a closed interior room, and protect yourself with how much padding or pillows or anything you have to put over your head from flying debris, because like I said, these tornadoes will be strong tomorrow, they'll be fast moving, and you only have a matter of time to react. So like I say, we'll be out there tomorrow covering the event, posting videos and details and forecast updates as well. We'll wait for the morning observations and visible satellite to kick in and kind of go from there to see where the boundaries sit and how far north that lower warm front's lifting, how morning convection is moving out, and all these other specifics and details. So stay tuned for later updates, and I appreciate you guys for